Some RGB lights are really cheap, like this one, and some RGB lights can get pretty pricey, like this one. So in this video, I'm going to be comparing a $20 Ulanzi RGB light to a $130 Zhiyun RGB light, so you can decide if the difference in quality is worth your money. I also want to make it clear that this video isn't sponsored by either of the brands I'm comparing, and it doesn't matter as much the specific model of RGB light. I'm just more making this video so you can see what you'll get in different price ranges. I'll have both of these lights linked in the description just in case you want to check them out. So first of all, we're going to go through build quality, and like you were probably expecting, the more expensive one definitely wins this round. It's very solid, it looks cooler, overall you can definitely tell it's more money, whereas the cheap one, it has a lot of the same features, just it's all plastic. There's nothing really special about the way it looks. It's just as simple as possible. So I guess in build quality, you also have to talk about the ergonomics of the lights. I would definitely say that the cheaper one is extremely simple to use, maybe even more simple, but I think that they are both very user-friendly for beginners, and there's nothing complicated about the way you go about the menus. Now, as far as I know, this cheaper one does not give you the option to attach any accessories like a diffuser, for example. And what you see right here is literally all you're getting when you buy it. Whereas this one right here actually comes with a cage, which gives you the option to buy more accessories in the future. Or you could just spend $30 more and the light will come with a diffuser, a honeycomb grid, and barn doors. Now, as far as size, you can see right here, these lights are both pretty small, but this one definitely has to win when it comes to being compact and light to carry around. Just a little more pocket size. This one, of course, I mean, it's small, but it's a little bit bigger than you want to be carrying around in your hand or pocket all the time, especially if you have the cage or accessories on it. Now, of course, the main feature of a light is the light, so I'm going to stop yapping about all the build quality and stuff, and I'm going to move on to the brightness. This light is way brighter than this one, and it's obvious when you're filming. This is the cheaper light on me, and this is the more expensive light, both at 100% brightness. And if you're talking about lighting the background of a YouTube video, forget it, this one's not even usable. This one is the one you're definitely going to need to go for. But I could definitely see this coming in handy, and I have used it for things like product videos where all you want is to light a very small space in a dark room. This will do the job. So for the brightness category, more expensive RGB light wins. Now, as you probably already know, some lights have the option to be controlled with an app, like this one. And basically all expensive RGB lights have that option. If you get the Zhiyun app, it has a bunch of cool features that will make it more convenient to use the light, especially if it's in a place you can't reach while you're filming. One of them, which is actually a really cool feature, is where if you point your phone with the app at a certain object with a certain color, you can actually set the color of the light with the click of a button to that exact color of the object you're pointing it at, which can be really cool if you're trying to sync multiple lights on a set to the same color to match a brand style or really whatever you want. Now, I forgot if I mentioned earlier, but both of these charge with USB Type-C. I probably should have put that in the build category, but I think that's just extremely convenient because, as you know, it's annoying when you have a random product that comes with a whole nother charger that you can't use with all your other stuff. And at this point, most people charge things with USB-C. Now, moving into the next category, which is effects. These both have cool effects, but really, who even uses those anyway? Like, do I really have to talk about that? Now, I can imagine these being very useful in niche-specific situations, but you're not gonna need police siren or firework effects for your average shoot. Now, before I wrap this video up, I just wanted to talk about some pros and cons of the cheap versus expensive RGB lights, just so you could see the difference and see if the cons of the cheap one would maybe make you not want to get it. So first of all, obviously the main strengths of this light are that it's small and it's compact, so everything is on the body, like this tripod thread on the bottom, and all these cold shoe mounts on all sides of it. Whereas the more expensive one only has those things if you put on the bulky cage right here. And just adding the cage makes it a whole lot less convenient to carry around and bring with you when you're filming. Now, the cons of the small one, first of all, it feels pretty cheap. Second of all, it's not very bright. Now let's move on to the more expensive one. Pros obviously being that it's built amazing, very sturdy, and also that it's extremely bright. There's really not many situations where this won't be bright enough for what you're filming. Now, another pro is that it has a magnet on the cage, so if it's in the cage, it has a pretty strong magnet. Unlike this one, where it just has a magnet in the body that is extremely weak, and not something you'd want to trust if it's in a place you don't want it to fall. Now, I can't really say that for sure because I haven't really tested this out on good surfaces for magneting things, but what I can say is this one's is definitely stronger. Now the biggest cons of the more expensive light obviously are, first of all, the price, and second of all, it's overheating, which will make this fan right here turn on. And even though it's quiet in the background, it can still get pretty loud for how small it is. Even though it looks kind of cool, I'd still say the fan is definitely a big downside. Having this on 100% brightness, it will overheat and shut off. That's happened to me in multiple videos. So to wrap this video up, if you're looking for a cheap, small light that you can carry around and use for product videos and lighting small spaces, I'd definitely go with the Ulanzi light. It's a lot smaller, lighter, cheaper, everything about it is just more simple. But if you need something a little bit higher quality, for example, for lighting the background of YouTube videos, you definitely need to go with a more expensive one. Not necessarily this one, but something in this price range. As I said at the beginning of this video, this wasn't talking about specific models, but mainly what you get in this price range, and I think these are pretty good examples of what you'll get out of an RGB light in that price range. Most cheap Amazon lights like this are about the same. And a better example would have been like an aperture light, but I don't have any of those, so I just use this one. Well, I hope this video helped you out a little bit, especially if you're looking for an RGB light to buy. As I said before, the links will be in the description of this video. I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you in the next one.